EDI training is important for the non-profit sector. I believe, as sort of the Executive Director of ECVO, which is a capacity building organisation, that we have to really understand where we can increase value. And the sector works across the whole of society. So we've got to think about who do we serve, who are our clients, who are our members, and that is everybody across from birth to death and from all different cultural backgrounds. So if you don't have a good sense of what it means to really understand from where people are coming from, then how can you really build and engage in authentic programs and services for the sector? It was really important for us to start to think about collectively together as a board and a staff team, because senior leadership were also included in the process, to start to co-think about what does it mean for ECVO to be an inclusive organisation.
I think what was most illuminating during this process as a board member was really seeing how we all came together and brought our own diversity of experiences and perceptions to the table. And we were all very willing to openly, honestly, and transparently go through the process. I think it was great that everyone was truly committed to the work and the process that we went through, and that commitment is being seen across the board and the staff now as it's all being implemented.
The work for ECVO has only just started, so we have the creation of our strategic documents, which is our starting point, which identified 3 core areas of work. So diversifying our leadership, engaging our community and growing our organisation. So there are 3 primary areas of work. And for us right now, the work is really focused on our staff and our staff team, as well as our board. So we have a couple of pieces of work that we have going on. So our staff is engaging in a book club, an EDI book club, which is really helping to dig into sort of some of the really complex systemic issues that surround EDI work, but also staff members are able to tap into their individual values in this space and really start to explore what this means for them as individuals, as well as employees of ECVO and servants of the sector at large. We've also struck up a committee of our board, which is our first staff and board committee. So we have not only board representatives, but also staff representatives on that. And we're really lucky to have a community representative as well, as we start to think about growing our community and engaging our community and being responsible to our community for the work that we're doing.
Well, the nonprofit sector for me is no different in its need to think about training for equity, diversity, and inclusion. Like any other organization or any other part of our society, I think in this day and age, if we're going to be relevant, then we need to recognize that we have to be relatable to a range of human beings. We have to be accessible for a range of human beings. And to do that, we need to make sure that our policies and our practices and our services reflect that difference and are suitable for all of those differences. In order for organizations to embed equity, diversity, and inclusion training into their day-to-day activities, I think it has to be seen as something more akin to informal peer-to-peer learning, and not just the one-off workshop or the 4-month training session that we go to. And there again are a number of ways we can do that. We can instantiate learning moments at the beginning of every single meeting. So begin a meeting with somebody presenting on an article or an interesting strategy that might have been learned somewhere else. I think we can formalize the presence of EDI champions in our organizations, and their job would be to sort of be cheerleaders for the work, and they may bring informal pieces of learning into the organization rather than everybody having to go to a workshop.
If I was to give advice to other nonprofit boards to undertake EDI work, I would say to take the time to do it thoroughly and authentically and holistically. I think it's very important to ensure that it is an activity that is undertaken by both the board and the staff, and that it is done with purpose and with good intention.
What this has given me is a starting point for us to really unpack the hard work ahead of us and think about not only how ECVO as an organisation can grow and develop from this work, but also how can we now support some of our member organisations who may not be working in these spaces yet to start to think about what a journey might be like for them.